2 weeks removed from the darkest day we've had in a very long time, the Champ Car World Series returns to racing. It's round 7 of the 2020 Champ Car World Series season. We're in Texas Motor Speedway for the Pennzoil 300. All the teams and all the drivers had to make difficult choices. As you can tell, we have a little bit shorter of a grid. 24 cars is what will be starting this race. There are two ways to handle what happened at Indianapolis. You can reconsider what you thought was a dream. You can reconsider your direction. You can honor those that we've lost by sitting out and by stepping back. Or you can step forward and continue and push on. 24 have pushed on. And the news and the different decisions that were made. Sebastian Devereaux, Evangeline Porter, both retired on the spot. Devereaux won the Indianapolis 500 and retired, simply quit. And no one could blame him. Evangeline Porter, after returning for what is now becoming her last Indy 500, has retired from open wheel racing completely. Stephanie Porter Kelly has contemplated that decision after saying that she was going to go for years and years. The events of 2 Sundays ago has made her rethink that. But yet she sits third. 24 drivers have decided that they're going to honor their fallen coworkers and competitors and teammates and friends by doing what they've dreamt about doing, and that's race. It's a somber tone, and it's going to be one that we are not going to soon forget. Up here in the broadcast booth, there will be a lap of silence. There will be two. One on lap 22 for Giuliano Ansaldi, and one on lap 50 for Tim Courting. The conversation has gone on whether it's a rookie mistake, whether it was what went wrong? What was it on the team? Was it on the manufacturer? And investigations will go on for months. We don't know. Nobody knows. But there is a championship. There's dreams and wishes on the line. And we must keep going. We must press on. So for those that have joined us, we welcome you to the encore of the greatest spectacle in racing. It is a rookie on pole position, Natalia Kurachenko. Her teammate now gone and not coming back. Striker Motorsports have 2 cars in this race, starting first and third. You can't imagine a much more bittersweet moment than qualifying yesterday. But starting second is Christina Espinosa, 5-time Indianapolis 500 champion, no stranger to how cruel and how quick things can change in racing. Starting P4 in the red and white Vodafone car is Sakura Ishibashi, whose first race in 2016 was the Indy 500 that claimed the life of Henna Venäläinen. Tragedy is the backbone of this race. It's the backbone of racing. It's where motorsport advances. And the question now becomes is how quick can Champ Car advance and learn from these accidents? It's clear skies.
Drivers, to your cars.
And you hear the command for drivers to start their cars, or drivers to get to their cars. We are 4 minutes from racing. We'll go down the starting grid. There's your pole sitter, Natalia Kurachenko, her first ever champ car pole position. Saw Christina Espinosa alongside her in P2, and third place on the inside of row 2 is Stephanie Porter Kelly. And Sakura Shibashi, as I mentioned, starting fourth. Starting fifth and sixth, you see Isabel Espinosa that we're looking at right now. So both Agia cars sitting top 6. And to her inside, starting fifth, is Keisha Fox, one of the best performing rookies of the 2020 season so far. Behind her in row 4, it is Ray Taylor to the inside and Patrick Marcelli that we're looking at right now in the black and yellow. Marcelli's had a very rough season so far, sits 25th in points. Looking for anything to break the bad luck that he has seen this season. He's in the top 10, hoping that Texas treats him easier. Row 5 is composed of Andrew Draco, the 2017 world champion, excuse me, and Tyler Parker, who had 2 pole positions in a row for Homestead and Indianapolis. Unfortunately, neither race treated him well, but he's to the inside now, and his team's bought upgrades, and the intention is that these upgrades will help him and Sakura Ishibashi pull points back after some bad luck in these last couple races. Row 6 is an all-black rows row. It's P11 for Nicole Lectie and P12 for Astrid Crane, who is filling in for the next 3 races for Jace Clark as he continues to recover from his accident at Homestead. Row 7, it is Brad Neri, who is filling in for Gerard Perth. Sebastian Devereaux won this with this car in Indianapolis. This is the exact same chassis that was used in Indy. And we know what it's capable of. Should be in pretty good, capable hands for Brad Neri to work with as he prepares for a potential, I guess, migration to Champ Car. To his inside is 2-time Indianapolis 500 winner Kimitsu Kinoshita. She's had a rough time after Motegi, a string of reliability issues and just poor luck has removed her from virtually any championship contention. You have David Wessel, who did not have a great run at Indianapolis, along with Alicia Kovacevic. Kovacevic had a decent showing, but lap traffic prevented her from really showcasing what she could do on the biggest stage. Then we look at Simona Leroux. She is the only car for Highlight Racing. Rachel Koivanemi is another driver that as we get the command, Rachel Koivanemi will not be in Champ Car anymore. She's decided that she was going to pursue other interests. Looks like there is an issue further in the back. That is Kaylee Zappa having issues. You see the 33, that is Jesus Cristobal. We didn't talk about that, and there's more issues. Drivers trying to merge. That is Kinoshita, that is Neri, that is pretty far up in the field. So issues already. Seems like there was an issue merging onto the track for Kinoshita, and there is a technical issue with Kaylee Zappa. So Cat Dove Racing is already having a lot of problems. Kaylee Zappa did not get going. She looks like she's not going to take the green. Everything seems to have bounced back. Yeah, Kelly Zappa's coming in. But Natalia Kurchenko is going to lead us to the green flag. Here we go. We are green in Texas. And immediately, Striker Motorsports pulls off a 1-2. Porter Kelly staying right tucked into the gearbox of Kurchenko. Keisha Fox follows suit as well to take third. Coming to complete lap 1 will be Kurchenko to the lead. Keisha Fox trying to make a move on Stephanie Porter Kelly. As we look further back, Brad Neri is recovering after his little excursion with Kenoshita on the formation lap. Looking at him to the inside, he's behind Jesus Cristobal, who's driving to 33. Seems like for right now, everything's relatively tame. That is Kaylee Zappa coming out of pit lane, hoping that they fixed whatever is wrong with her car. Something that was curious coming into this race with the reduced downforce was if this would be a pack race. Because it almost was in 2018 with the older car. But we're going to find out exactly how well these cars will handle dirty air here at Texas. And so far, it's relatively tame. It's Kurchenko, then Keisha Fox, Tyler Parker's up to third. So a great run for Tyler Parker so far down this early stage as we get ready to complete lap 5. It's still 2x2 in several different spots. Jesus Cristobal already in the top 5. Going past Ray Taylor. David Wessels followed him up too as well. Porter Kelly's dropped back after starting third. Her and Christina Espinosa both have fallen back quite a bit. A lot of jockeying going around. As we look at Jesus Cristobal and his return to open wheel competition. That is 5th place for Cristobal. He's behind David Wessel and Keisha Fox. So 3 rookies in the top 5. Kurchenko is using Kaylee Zappa's draft to stay away from Tyler Parker. Gap is almost a full second. The gap's relatively even between Kurchenko and Parker, and then Parker and Keisha Fox and David Wessel. Wessel's going to make a move for third. So Tyler Parker started 9th. He's sitting up in 2nd already. We are finishing lap 11 now. And it seems fairly spread out. Kurachenko is trying to stay away from Tyler Parker. Tyler Parker is slowly closing the gap, but then down to third, it bunches up. David Russell's trying to break away as well, doing a fairly good job as Brad Neri in his first start takes on Christina Espinoza. Stephanie Porter Kelly, Keisha Fox, Andrew Draco, Sakura Shibashi are also in the top 10 at the moment. Thomas Rogers, who started near the very back of the field, is also sitting in the top 12, battling to be in the top 10 right behind his teammate Sakura Ishibashi. It's Rogers in the black number 2, and then Ishibashi in the red and white number 3. And then behind Rogers is Cristobal. Looks like Kenoshita has recovered as well. So whatever issues they had in the formation lap, both Kenoshita and Neri have come out of it unscathed. There's Kenoshita and Cameron Jackson. Looks like both Cat Dev racing cars that are not suffering issues are sitting tidy. So is Esther Hofson in the number 28. Ray Taylor's dropped back, as has Alicia Kovalkiewicz. Nicole Lechty as well. Take a little look from the helicopter cam. As we look behind on Nicole Lechty, something to point out, this is only the second time that open wheel cars have raced on the newer configuration of Texas. As they approach turn 1 and 2, you'll see that there are 4 lanes separated by the lines that are painted. Turns 3 and 4 only have 3 lanes that are painted. As we took a little glance there at a side pod camera that's used mostly for penalty reviews, Nicole Lechty gets by Ray Taylor. See, the average race speed is over 200 miles an hour now at this point. As Astrid Crane sitting in the Sonic drive-thru, number 7 car. There is Cody Blackman. Patrick Marcelli has dropped way back. Then Ronald Walker sitting 23rd. Kelly Zappa sitting 24th, sitting still in front of Natalia Kurachenko. And then there's Tyler Parker. 1 and almost a half seconds back. As you see tires begin to wear, there's what the speeds look like right now. They're dropping below 200 miles an hour. We talked about how Champ Car would adapt. Harder compound tires is one thing, less downforce, and the cars aren't using full horsepower. The 3 manufacturers, Mercedes, Alpine, and Honda, normally have 750 horsepower to their disposal. That was turned down for this race, out of concerns that this race would be, as it was at Indianapolis and Homestead, they have slowed them down by 125 horsepower. So they're sitting on just over 625 horsepower compared to the 750. So it's a bit of a response to the last month of events for Valkenburg. The speed will go back up, the power will go back up to 750 horsepower. Um, Horizon is in talks with the manufacturers involved about increasing the power to 800 horsepower next year. But we're seeing a very far cry from it right now as the speed begins to fall pretty rapidly. It's down to 198 miles, 198 miles an hour for the race average speed. Kurachenko's using it to her advantage though. Happily pulling away. Another thing I talked about in the pre-race was Striker Motorsports spending on upgrades. Kurachenko doesn't have the upgrades. The upgrades are applied to Porter Kelly's car. Kurachenko's in really unknown waters. All right, so as you're seeing here, I had to take a step aside for a technical issue. But as you're seeing here, it's a very interesting race so far as Tyler Parker really closes the gap to Kurachenko. Kurachenko starting to battle tires. Tires are becoming the name of the game. Captive Racing did a great job of saving their tires early on, and now they're battling just outside the top 10. Kanosta is in 10th. Kurachenko is definitely having issues, however. She's dropped a second down to Tyler Parker. Tyler Parker closing the gap very quickly in the last 3 or 4 laps. He's now very much within range of possibly taking the lead, giving us our first lead change of the race. Christina Espinoza also trying to close the gap. Phantom Motorsports sitting on possibly what could end up being their best result all season so far. Wessel in 4th, Draco 5th. Then it's a bit of a battle. There's Jesus Cristobal, Sakura Ishibashi, and Isabel Espinoza. Thomas Rogers sitting 9th. Porter Kelly, Kenoshita, Jackson, and Esther Hofson sitting just outside the top 10. You have Simona Leroux sitting 14th. Alicia Kovacevic has climbed her way back closer to the front. She's sitting 15th. Her teammate Keisha Fox started P5 and has dropped down to 16th. Then it's the Black Rose Racing. Crane's having a bit of issues with the tires, it looks like. She can't hold the outside lane as she lets Marcelli by. So it's Lecty, Marcelli, and then Crane. That's 16th, 7th, that's 17th, 18th, 19th. Ray Taylor's dropped all the way down to 20th. 21st is Cody Blackman. Brad Nery's out of the race early. And there's 22nd. Kaylee Zappa's 2 laps down, but she's trying to pull away. So Tyler Parker has taken the lead. And they are having troubles with tires right now. The tires are what most drivers will call graining. The loads that are being put into the tires are forcing them to really particleize, essentially. Look up near the wall, there'll be a lot of marbling, a lot of dust from what these tires are going through. It really is a question of, is this going to be a tire-based strategy or is it going to be a fuel-based strategy? We are almost 40 laps in, starting lap 40 now. And Kurachenko is definitely losing tire. She spent too much time behind Kaylee Zappa. Christina Espinoza gets by for second into turn 1. Coming out of turn 2, she'll be completely clear of Kurachenko as she begins her descent down the order. Wessel and Draco sitting 4th and 5th still. It's very nice having teammates you can work with right near you. You have to look another 4 seconds back to Isabel Espinoza. Then it's Jesus Cristobal, Stephanie Porter Kelly, Kimitsu Kenoshita, and then you've got Thomas Rogers and Sakura Ishibashi still side by side. Tires have kept this from really being a crazy race. Now it's becoming very strategic. Qualifying was done with full speed. That is not the case now. They're having to back off big time. You can hear the sound of the engines as they're backing off and pushing low revs. The more dirty air you go through, the harder it is. This is shades of Calder Park all over again. Tyler Parker has the lead. Christina Espinoza wants it. Reminds me a lot of Calder Park 2017. Tyler Parker was on pace to win his first Champ Car event. Christina Espinoza using her ability to save tires and pretty unique strategy took that away. So this is a return to that battle. Christina Espinoza and Tyler Parker. Tyler Parker ended up beating her at Dover in 2018 to take his first win. Espinoza's going to take the lead here. So here's another lead change. Christina Espinoza to the point. See Kurchenko's in the clutches of David Wessel. I think right now the big concern going on right now is if the tires are graining as much as they are, and it's causing the pace to drop as it is, how dangerous is it to keep going on the tires? Wessel's gotten by Kurchenko for third. Andrew Draco is going to be next on that list to try to get by the Russian. Cristobal is going to have to deal with both Kinoshita and Ishibashi. Draco's going to try to make a move in the turn one. Coming through the tri-oval, he's looking to the bottom. He's got it. Kurchenko had to give it to him. It seems like Kurchenko is having a lot of issues on older tires. Seems like on fresher tires, she could pull away. But there might have been a setup compromise. And I'm not sure it's a compromise that was beneficial. I think it might have been a decision made based off of how the last two ovals have gone. Kurchenko touches the wall barely coming out of turn 4. So she's definitely pushing. It's an issue that no one else is having, so she's having severe issues. As Kinoshita gets by Cristobal. We are a quarter of the way through the race. This is the battle for 8th. Both Kinoshita and Ishibashi are going to try to get through, and Cristobal's lost 2 positions in one set of corners. Down to 10th goes the Peruvian. Thomas Rogers sitting 11th. Esther Hobson 12th. Cameron Jackson 13th. Cherokee GP, after being another team that's purchased upgrades, not seeing the fruits of their labors. LaRoe and Marcelli side by side. And this is the battle for 15th. Marcelli takes it. Lecty, Fox, Crane, Ray Taylor, Cody Blackman. Ronald Walker is now behind Kaylee Zappa. I believe he is the next car on the way of being lapped. And they are in the same set of corners now. This is a far different affair than what we were expecting 2 weeks ago or even a week ago when we were talking about this race still taking place. Some called to have this race canceled, and indeed the back straightaway, which normally has a grandstand full of people, that grandstand is empty. It is completely barren. Tyler Parker's trying to hold on to Christina Espinoza. It's a third and a fourth for Phantom Motors right now. A bit of an island for Natalia Kurachenko, our pole sitter. It is super spaced out right now. Except for right here, this little grouping right here with Ray Taylor, Cody Blackman, and Kelly Zappa. Zappa is on a bit fresher tires. She was in the pit lane for a period of time. Hence why she's 2 laps down. So she's got a bit of time to try to make something happen here. Ronald Walker is being lapped, so he's now a lap down. We are on lap 59 of 200. To everyone that's just now joining us, it is the Pennzoil 300 from Texas Motor Speedway. Looking at Ronald Walker, who's the first car 1 lap down, and there's your race leader, Christina Espinoza, the 33-year-old from Zarate, Argentina. A 20-minute drive outside of the capital city of Buenos Aires. Most people in the open wheel circle will know Espinoza's name. 5-time Indianapolis 500 champion, 4-time Champ Car world champion. And there is an issue. Drivers are coming into pit lane, and that's why. A love tap to the wall by Tyler Parker. Tires are definitely cliffing. The pit window has arrived. He just surrendered a ton of time to Espinoza. And you can imagine he's pushing extremely hard, trying to keep close to Espinoza. It's Counter Park all over again. He's watching another potential race win walk away from him. It's been a rough season for Tyler Parker so far. He's sitting 18th in points. The more he struggles, the more it helps. You see David Wessel coming up, Andrew Draper coming up. 2 teammates that are obviously working a team strategy game to be where they are. Asher Crane has just come out of the pit lane, so she's on fresh tires. This is where it gets a bit dangerous. The speed difference is going to be severe. Both of the full-time Japanese drivers still staying out. This is the 3 of Ishibashi, the 18 of Kinoshita. They are coming in now. So is Thomas Rogers. And there's a bit of contact there between Cameron Jackson, and it looks like that was Natalia Kurachenko. No damage, though. Keisha Fox is in. So now we get to see where everyone's cycling through. See, pit lane's very busy. First round of pit stops. Going through under green. Leaders are in. Looking to see who's going to inherit the race lead. It could be Kurachenko. Looks like Kurachenko will have the race lead, potentially. We're waiting to see. It is Kurachenko. So she's re-inherited the lead. She's undercut the rest of the field. David Wessel had a faster stop and an undercut. So now we are playing a very interesting game. Kurachenko was one of the first to come in, but she now has a 7-second gap over David Wessel. David Wessel came in a lap before Espinoza did and shaved off almost 3 seconds of gap. So 2 rookies right now occupy the first 2 spaces on the podium. Then you have a 13-year veteran in third, a 3-year veteran in fourth. Well, Phantom Motorsports had, Escuderia Guia now has as well. Andrew Draco's not out of the question either. And then there's Tyler Parker. A lot of intrigue going into this one. Kurachenko, not a fan favorite after what she did at Homestead. David Wessel trying to make his name in the Champ Car World Series. He gets passed with relative ease by Espinoza. So Christina Espinoza jumps back up into second. She's now in pursuit of Natalia Kurachenko. It is Striker Motorsports, Escuderia Guia, and Phantom Motors occupying all of the top 5. Elm Competition are also sitting up here in the top 7. Team Impulse are up here as well. Asher Crane is up in the top 10. Crane is another one that got an undercut. So strategy has now been made extremely variable. Because some of the early stoppers stopped in purely for tire wear. Whereas some that stopped later stopped mostly for the fuel, to make the fuel number. Is it going to be worth it? And is the track position going to be worth it? Opening hand has been dealt. As we're looking at the 93, he's sitting 17th, Cody Blackman behind the wheel. Cameron Jackson lost positions in that pit stop, but he did stop a bit later. So he should be able to make some of that back up as the tires begin to wear again. Alicia Kovalkiewicz struggling as well. And then Ronald Walker is back on the lead lap. Keisha Fox is a lap down, having issues in pit lane. As is Ray Taylor. Kaylee Zappa is 3 laps down. And you see one retirement, that is Brad Neri. His debut in Champ Car cut extremely short because of an engine issue. One of many that have happened this season for Mercedes. The battle up near the podium spots getting rather intense. You got Ray Taylor sitting in front of David Wessel. David Wessel trying to get by him so he can continue chasing down Christina Espinosa. We're on lap 75, about to finish lap 75 now. There's the race leader, Natalia Kurachenko. She started on pole, led the first 34 laps before being passed by Tyler Parker. Dropped down to 5th, made an early pit stop, and using the undercut from these tires, has regained the lead. Had an almost 7-second margin after everyone completed their pit stops. That gap has shortened down to 3.5 and still steadily falling. It's down another 4/10 to both David Wessel and Christina Espinosa. We've been caution-free so far. Everyone's attention has been paid on the Indianapolis 500 2 weeks ago. That was the race with the least amount of cautions. There's only 2 in that race. Motegi and Homestead both had more. Keisha Fox trying to get her lap back on Kurachenko, and it will happen. So we're back up to 21 cars in the lead lap. Despite the controversy, the front grandstands are completely full, as is the RV parking. A lot of people have come out to watch and see what happens. The gap between first and second's down to 2 seconds. Now closer to 1.5. Kurachenko has played a leapfrog game that would, in theory, see her put on the back foot when the final pit stop happens. That final pit stop estimated be about lap 170, lap 180. There's going to be 3 pit stops in this race, from what we've gathered from this first round of pit stops. They were expecting to be able to make it on 2 stops. That's no longer possible. Kurachenko is trying to use Keisha Fox as a bit of a defense as she tries to get past Ronald Walker, and that'd be for 20th. Ronald Walker is now a lap down again. And as you can see at the very tail end, there's Espinosa. Espinosa is charging forward. Espinosa has one of the bigger upgrade packages that was made available by AAI. Have a sinking feeling that Kurchenko's not going to hold this lead all the way through this lap. But she is putting up the numbers needed to take the bonus points for most laps so far. She gives up the inside. Espinosa's going to take it, and there's another lead change. 3 drivers have led this race. You're looking at 2 of them. Tyler Parker, the third one, is sitting 4th. See, Asher Crane was up to 9th. She's dropped back. She seems to have also joined a strategy that takes advantage of early tire wear and unfortunately suffers in later stages. She's down to 14th. It's the 2 sisters, Ishibashi and Kinoshita, sitting 9th and 10th. Portichelli's on an island on her own, as is Jesus Cristobal. Most intriguing battle that's happening here is the battle for 3rd between David Wessel and Natalia Kurachenko. And there's a battle for 4th between Andrew Draco and Tyler Parker. So it seems at the moment that Escuderia Eguia might have the upper hand when it comes to tire life. But Striker Motorsports, Phantom Motors, and Team Impulse aren't out of it yet. We are 10 laps from halfway. And what has been a surreal race at Texas Motor Speedway. In a race where the cars have been detuned because of fears of more serious accidents until they get a better understanding of the root cause of the accidents. So the cars have been detuned. Firestone tires that they brought to Texas have been wearing much more extensively than they were at Indianapolis or Homestead or Motegi. And the teams that purchased an exorbitant amount of upgrades are just moderately doing a little bit better than the teams that have not. Phantom Motorsports has been on a cost-saving strategy, but both their cars are sitting 2nd and 5th for the first time all season. See, David Wessel's moved into 2nd place. Tyler Parker is going to try to move for 3rd. To the inside of Kurachenko, he will go and takes it. Parker to 3rd. Kurachenko is now on her descent once again. Soon she'll fall down behind Andrew Draco. This is very reminiscent of older races from over a decade ago, where it became very strung out. I think about 2003, 2004. Those races weren't safe, mind you, but they were more strategy based. In the modern era, Champ Car racing has been very much wrapped around the notion of pack racing. And Horizon in the last month have realized that that is something that needs moderated. And what we're watching right now is their first step at it. How do you moderate pack racing? There's a lot of factors that might go into this. Power obviously is one factor. The reduced speed may affect how they handle dirty air. There is very minimal downforce on this car. You can tell by the wings. The rear wing has no downforce whatsoever. The front wing only really directs air around the tires. It doesn't help dirty air. As we're looking at Cameron Jackson, he's sitting 13th right now. Simona LaRose 14th, 15th is Patrick Marcelli. Lisa Kovacevic is sitting in 16th, and Nicole Lecty's last car in the lead lap, and there's the leader right on time. Now look at that. Here's the side camera view that we had a glimpse at earlier. You see the empty grandstands, but you see the RVs. A lot of RVs. You see she's going by Kovalkiewicz now. So here's fourth place right here. Here's Andrew Draco. He is long dispatched Natalia Karachenko. We're over the halfway point now. We're on lap 103, about to start lap 104. We are about to see a battle between teammates. There's David Wessel, and then Andrew Draco's not far behind. You see, there's Astrid Crane. She's not having a fun time. She's sitting down in 18th. A lap down. Both Black Rose cars are a lap down. And both Cherokee cars are a lap down. Remember that Crane had a very miserable time, had a lot of electrical issues at Indy, and she's not having a great time now. despite starting in 12th spot and being as high as 9th. Tyler Parker and David Wessel still very close. This Mona LaRoe, Cameron Jackson, standing not too much further ahead. Christina Espinoza is on a run. This is one of those performances that you can't deny under any circumstance. It's a very dominating performance by Christina Espinoza so far. Despite what the lap count numbers will show, Espinoza's done a fantastic job so far today. For her hopes of winning a 5th championship, this race will do wonders if she's able to keep it up. So here at lap 110, we're about 10 laps away from pit stops. Looking at it, Christina Espinoza is trying to chase down Cameron Jackson. 5 seconds is the gap between Espinoza and Tyler Parker. So here we go. Looking at Espinoza still. She's trying really hard to get to the gearbox of Cameron Jackson. Ronald Walker's in early by about 5 laps. Espinoza's getting to Jackson here. The gap's slowly closing. There's Tyler Parker. And between the top two is the lap car of Simona Leroux. And despite us saying lap car, Leroux's 14th. She's now the second car one lap down. Cameron Jackson's officially one lap down, sitting 13th. One of his best races of the season so far. Speaks volumes about how his luck has been after Motegi. Here, more cars in the pit lane. Pit lane's about to pick up. Espinosa's taking a really higher line approach. She's doing something not a lot of drivers have been doing. That she's been adjusting her line for the tire wear. There goes Kurachenko. A lot of speed there. Kurachenko forcing on by. It's a very dangerous game to be playing. Tyler Parker's in. So Kurachenko's playing the undercut once again. Cody Blackman is through. And she's in pit lane now. Espinosa comes down. She is the last one to pit on the lead lap. So Kurachenko should, in theory, regain the race lead here. And indeed she has. Kurachenko back to the front. Almost. Andrew Draco's to the front. So new race leader, Andrew Draco. And there's the gap. Draco won the race in 2018. And what was a very exciting photo finish with Bear Swindross. So Espinoza, who was leading, has dropped down to fourth behind Tyler Parker, Natalia Kurichenko, and Andrew Draco. David Wessel, who was at one point on the podium, is now sitting fifth. Then it's Stephanie Porter Kelly, Jesus Cristobal, Isabel Espinoza, Kinemitsu Kinoshita, and Sakura Ishibashi. And you have Esther Hofson, the final car on the lead lap, sitting in 11th. Normally, I try filling the air with something, anything, but this is actually an intriguing race to watch. The strategies have been all over the place. Espinosa has the long run pace, but with how long it's taken her to get back up to Draco, a third round of pit stops may not be very good on her. It's taken her quite a while. She had a very rough pit stop. And it's taken her 25 laps to get back to battling for the lead. The final round of pit stops are expected to take place about lap 180. If you look at those trends, she may not have enough time on that final round of pit stops to get by. Draco's defending the bottom. Side by side, Draco's still going to have the lead here. Just barely. Patrick Marcelli puts his nose in the mix. He's trying to get a lap back. Esther Hofson, still the last car in the lead lap. Marcelli's going to get by. Marcelli is 2 laps down. Leaderboard on your screen shows 11th to 20th. See 11th of Hofson on the lead lap, just barely. Then it's Thomas Rogers, Cameron Jackson, Simona LaRoe, Astrid Crane, Nicole Lechty, Alicia Kovalkiewicz, Keisha Fox, Cody Blackman that are on 1 lap down. Blackman's now 2 laps down. Ray Taylor's also 2 laps down, sitting in 20th. 21st is Ronald Walker. 22nd is Patrick Marcelli. His hopes of having a good race have essentially evaporated. Kelly Zappa 3 laps down due to electrical issues she had at the beginning. Brad Neri, in his first start, has retired due to his Mercedes engine expiring. For intrigue, Thomas Rogers is the first of the lap cars. Cameron Jackson just a little bit behind him. Three-quarters of the way through this race. Lap 151 is what we're starting on right now. Espinosa's held the race lead 3 different times. The ebbs and throws of this race are absolutely astounding. It is a different race than what anyone was expecting. And we still have 49 laps to go. See, there's Esther Hofson about to go a lap down. In comes Andrew Draco. Last stop of the race. That is a planned stop. He's pitting early. So this is a battle for second now between David Wessel and Tyler Parker. The next question will be, where will Andrew Draco end up when everyone else makes their final pit stop? Because everyone else still has to. And there comes Parker. Tyler Parker's in pit lane. Wessel coming in as well. And obviously, Espinosa staying out. Espinosa's covering it off. She's not staying out the full distance. Espinosa wasn't going to come in until several laps later. Everyone could have gone to lap 180. There's Draco now getting past Esther Hofson. This could be a really big deal. There's Lefty now. That's not Lefty. That's Sakura Shibashi. The issue is, did he cause the cycle to start too early? That becomes a big question. Yeah, Espinosa's gonna have a lot to cover. Draco's out. He's in front. 4 seconds is the gap. Ishibashi's no slouch, so she's gonna give a bit of an issue. Hofson's not slow either. That's a battle for 10th. Running. A very bold move by Andrew Draco. It is a battle between two world champions. Draco in the 13, the black and gold, and Espinosa in the blue and white, number 48. The undercut, the same undercut that Draco just used, has also given Parker the advantage for third. It's a very interesting situation to be in. Christina Espinosa and Andrew Draco still very much about to come blows to blow. Espinosa and Tyler Parker sitting lower in the point standings. This could help them in the point standings a ton. 9 cars on the lead lap. It is Draco, then Espinosa, who is in your screen now. Tyler Parker, David Wessel, Jesus Cristobal, and his return sitting in the top 5. Isabel Espinosa sitting 6th. Natalia Kurachenko, the pole sitter of this race, sitting 7th. Stephanie Porter Kelly sitting 8th. 9th is Kinemitsu Kinoshita. Here's the scary thing. Gap's not changed. The gap has not changed at all. Has Draco found an equalizer? We have been caution-free all race long. 30 laps to go. 29 now. It's down by a tenth that last lap. This lap, it is down by 2/10. Now the gap's starting to come down. So we're watching Espinosa. This is where it gets pretty critical. Now here's the big deal. Two cars battling for the top 10. Ishibashi and Hobson. That's for position for 10th. These two cars are going to get into Espinosa's way. There's Patrick Marcelli getting lapped once again. So there's Marcelli. Going to slow up. Slowed up Espinosa. Indecisive. Ishibashi takes 10th away from Hobson. Can Hobson reel it back? Draco's got traffic of his own. He's got Alicia Kovalkiewicz and Nicole Lechty. And that is also for position. That is 16th and 17th. Trying to stay one lap down. Espinosa's got a little bit of clean track right now, but then she's got two cars that are going to be battling. Draco's got two cars that are going to be battling. It's going to be how quick can each of them dispatch their traffic. It's a battle for 8th between Porter Kelly and Kinoshita. Kurachenko sitting 7th, trying to get past Jesus Cristobal, who's dropped down from 5th. It's a battle for 5th between Cristobal, Isabel Espinosa, and Kurachenko. It's a battle for 3rd between Wessel and Parker. There's the gap between 3rd and 4th. The gap between 4th and 5th is almost half a lap. Espinosa's reeled in Hobson. Hobson held up Espinosa. Is it enough? Coming down to 20 to go. Gap is 1.8. Now Parker's trying to reel in David Wessel. 1.6 is the gap. Espinosa has by far the best long run car in the field. It's Ishibashi, then it's Draco. Someone needs to start playing the Jaws theme right about now. Lechty and Kovalkiewicz have pulled away from Draco. 19 to go. Draco's struggling. He's giving up a spot. He's giving up track position here. Ishibashi's through. Marcelli's back on pit lane. And there's the gap between first and second. He may have pit too early. He's going to try to stay up. He's going to try to block. He can't hold the bottom. Can't hold the bottom. There's Espinoza. She's got that lap. Now how quick can she dispatch Ishibashi? Can she get by Ishibashi without losing time? She opened up 3/10 that lap. It's a pretty serious affair. She's going to try to dispatch Ishibashi now. I guess here comes the interesting question as we're approaching 13 to go. I think we're on 14 to go right now. There's Kinoshita. Is Ishibashi going to put Kinoshita and Portocali a lap down? That is a very big question as Aster Crane's about to go a lap down. At this point, Draco is probably dealing damage limitation. Draco's in a decent spot in the points. Espinoza's not. Tyler Parker's not. He can sit and take a second. Not that I don't think anyone wants to hear that if you're a fan of Andrew Draco, but there's the battle for third. It is heating up. We're at 12 to go. 11 to go this time. Marcelli's on fresher tires. Ten laps to go. So there's your race leader, Christina Espinoza. 7 to go. Hard to say that the wrong driver won. She's dominated a lot of this race. You see the gap between third and fourth becoming a bit larger with the due to lap traffic. Ronald Walker being passed by David Wessel. So now 2 lap cars between Wessel and Tyler Parker. Obviously, you don't count don't count chickens before they hatch, but oh, there's an issue. That is Ray Taylor. He's off the racing surface, but he's not going to make it to the line. And there's not going to be yellow. They're not throwing the yellow. They're letting him race to the finish. Tyler Parker got by Ronald Walker. Two laps to go. Looking at Kenosha, she's the last one in the lead lap. And that's the gap. It's not much. It's been a very interesting race. It'll be a caution-free race. Last lap's been started. Christina Espinoza leads. Marcelli is going to try to do something bold. And your race winner in Texas is Christina Espinoza. Her first win of the season. Was a much needed one. Andrew Draco with another podium, his second in a row. David Wessel with his first podium. And then Tyler Parker sitting in fourth place, having just gotten by Esther Hofson. You have to go all the way back to Natalia Kurachenko, who finished fifth. She got by Isabel Espinoza for fifth. Jesus Cristobal on his return, getting seventh. Stephanie Porter Kelly eighth. And then Kimitsu Kinoshita finishing ninth. 10th is Sakura Ishibashi, 1 lap down. She's the first car 1 lap down. Esther Hofson brings it home 11th. Thomas Rogers 12th. Cameron Jackson 13th. Simona Leroux 14th. Alicia Kovalkiewicz 15th. She's the first car 2 laps down. And then it's Nicole Lechty, Astrid Crane, Keisha Fox, Cody Blackman, Ronald Walker. Then you have Kaylee Zappa, Patrick Marcelli, and then Ray Taylor. So that was an interesting race. So there we go. There's the official standings. So we're going to do something bold here, and we're going to see if we can figure out the point standings real quick. So bear with us as we try to see what the unofficial point standings look like at the moment. So we can give you the points as they run. So here's the points as they run. Stephanie Porter Kelly remains the points leader, 207 points to her name with her race win at Homestead. Of course, that's still pending the investigation. Angie Draco up to second place in points, 20 points behind Porter Kelly. Sakura Shibashi drops down to third place in points. Natalia Kurachenko is sitting fourth place in points with 162. Isabel Espinosa sitting with 156. Keisha Fox drops 2 spots, so does Nicole Lechty. Christina Espinosa gains 13 spots. She's now top 8 in points. David Russell up to ninth place in points. He gained 6 spots in the standings today. Esther Hofson is in 10th. Tyler Parker gained 7 spots. He's now 11th. Kaylee Zappa is down to 12th. Cameron Jackson remains 13th in points. Alicia Kovalkiewicz is 14th. Kinomitsu Kinoshita is 15th. BK Glover, who is out injured, drops down to 16th. Giuliano Insaldi remains 17th. Rachel Koivanami remains 18th. Ronald Walker's 19th. Ray Taylor's 20th. Mildred Moon drops down to 21st. Simona LaRoe 22nd. Jace Clark drops down another spot to 23rd. Cody Blackman 24th. 25th is Gerard Perth. 26th is Patrick Marcelli. Marcelli is the last of the full-time drivers, down with 67 points. And then it drops down to part-time entries. Sebastian Devereux, who won Indy, sitting 27th. Thomas Rogers, in his second race of the season, with 51 points. He's 28th. Jesus Cristobal jumps to 29th place in points with his top 10. Asher Crane sitting 30th. Diego Jaramillo sitting 31st. Hazel Lacasse sitting 32nd. Anastasia Sponsonen sitting 33rd. Then you have Akira Sato, Evangeline Porty, Brad Neri, and then Tim Cording. That is the point standings after Texas Motor Speedway. The points gap has shrunk. It's down to 20. It's Porter Kelly and Draco, 2 former world champions. I'm trying to duke it out once more. So, for those that tuned in to watch, we thank you. We're glad we got through it. In 2 weeks' time, it's Valkenburg in the Netherlands. It is a brand new street circuit, and it's going to be a very interesting, a very fast one. We hope you join us for that one too. So for Champ Car, for Horizon Corporation, I'm Clayton Hardy, and we'll see you next time.